Just left Nick's. The name of the store is A&A. Yeah, A&A. On Exchange. This ain't really Exchange. It's more like North Arlington. So anyhow, I just left there. I was arguing with the government. I was telling them, I said walk away from me because I don't want to see y'all. You know, and a couple of other things. Why did I come in Dave's? Probably to waste time waiting on the bus. Hold on one second. Okay, so I told the agent, I'm like, go to the back. You know what I'm saying? Like, and leave me alone. Because I'm a, something. I said, so I didn't say I was going to, I didn't say I was going to attack him or not. I was just like, I guess something along the lines of me not being in the mood for that shit. So, when I'm walking up, he outside panicking with a cigarette. And I said, didn't I tell your ass to go to the back of you outside smoking a cigarette? And so, like, that quick, he put it out and he went to the back of the store as I was entering. So, I guess he kind of became pressed for the sale, you know, my approval. Because that's the type of stuff that they manipulate. So when, so I asked the girl, Akeisha, you know about it or whatever. You got black folks working there now. He normally don't do nothing but family or something like family. You know how Arabics run their shop. So, you know, me and the government were going back and forth about that. So I came and I got my bags. I told her, you know, I said, y'all don't carry model. She said no. She said, we just got the queen bee or something. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm making my essay, and here he comes from the back. He's like, no, we got this, that. And he don't even know what I'm talking about. He don't even know what kind of hair. I just explained to her that I need, because, you know, when she told me what it was, I was like, that's the pre-stretch, right? And she was like, yeah. I was like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for, you know, some rugged, like, you know, like lightweight raw, but not too rigid texture. And so I come, I'm like, he walk up to me, he's explaining, he think I don't, you know, I'm like, it's weird because he wasn't going to say anything until I said something. I said, how have you been? And he was like, I've been good, how about you? And I said, it's been crazy. And he said, why, what's going on? And I told him, I said, well, have you ever heard of gang stalking? And he was like, yeah. He said, I seen something on the news about that last week. And I was like, well, are you aware that it's like a government ran program? And he was like, no. And I was like, well, what are you said, I seen that like last week where they took some, you know, he kept going like this, where they, you know, you said they used you for that? And I said, no, what do you know it to be? And he said, they kidnap people. And I was like, no, that's, you know, an element, it could be. I was like, but, it's a torture program and it's designed for isolation and destitution. And he was like, oh, that's bad. And I was like, yeah. I was like, so, you know, I went into some of the details, the more details that I went into, and this is like an organized manner. I'm like, well, okay, isolation and destitution. I'm like, you know, I've always had, you know. And he's like, yeah. And he don't know me well, but I'm just saying, like, 2015, we was talking about doing business. You know, because, like, I'm into, like raw stuff, you know. And I was telling him about me going to Africa and me wanting to get some of the stuff shipped over here. We was talking about the healing elements of, like, some of the herbs that they have. And he was telling me that he could get some stuff in country. And I was like, you know, he was saying, you know, it would have to be such and such and, you know, how much. And, you know, this is around the time I was doing the holistic stuff. So I was like, cool, he can be a plug for that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, he knows I'm educated. All right. But now he knows I'm overeducated. So, I didn't even really say too much. I just said, you know, the CIA, their primary function, you know, is mind control. You know, And this is the way I said it. I said the primary thing that they're responsible for is mind control. I said, which is perception management. And I said, so I'm experiencing some things with like family and those that I know and everything, you know. So because I'm talking about the isolation part of the matter. And he's like, oh, that's bad, that's bad. But I could tell that disturbed him. I didn't even mention demon possession. And he was just like, look, he was just like, I'm busy.
Oh, I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. God bless you.
You too. So he was like, he was sitting there and he tried to change the subject in the middle of me talking about the CIA, like right after I made that statement or whatever. Like I said, I didn't mention demon possession. He didn't say, you know, I didn't even go that far with it. I was just like, so I'm experiencing some things with family, and like once again, you know, I've always had, and I'm like, they got me on foot and everything. I was like, so they're controlling whether or not I can get a job. They won't let me earn. And he was like, oh, ooh, that's bad. You just watch out for yourself. You make sure you just watch out, you know. And I'm like, trying to continue, but he would change the subject completely now. And now he's trying to sell me something that I didn't come for. He's showing me this Bobby brand. I guess that's the BB or Queen Bee, whatever they call it. And I'm like, no, but I'm still trying to finish my sentence because he kind of cut me off and went back into this hair thing or whatever. And so look, I'm like, oh, he's like, yeah, just try it. I stopped trying. I was just like, okay. So, you know, he's having one of those MK Ultra moments, you know, like the breakdown. And with the information that he's receiving, it's way too much. So sabotage needs to take place now. Okay? So, like I said, he's only known me to be cordial and educated, but now he knows that I'm overeducated. I wasn't nothing but cordial to the Keisha too. So, I look at this hair, and he was like, yeah, it's like a nice curl, nice wave, nice everything, and then he takes off. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a look or whatever. And like, I looked at it for a couple of seconds. No sooner than I turned, like walk back to let them know that I was just going to tell her, like, that's really not what I'm looking for, which she already knew, and leave. But he would walk up, and I catch him whispering to her, like saying something along the lines of, you know, like that's some crazy shit, you know, like he was saying, he was discrediting my word is what he was doing, and kind of making a silent mockery about it. And they both kind of, you know, she was like, hey, you know, kind of shrugged it off or whatever. But I caught them in the act, and I told him, I said, that's really not what I'm looking for. I'm gonna, you know, take care. He's like, yeah, you too. I even asked him like how his family was and stuff. I'm like, how's your family? He was like, yeah, they're doing okay. I said, you look like you lost a little weight. He said, I'm working on it, you know. But when you try to tell a covert this information, like, they literally shut their minds down. And like I said, sabotage needs to take place in order for them to maintain what they stole. So he tried to discredit my word, like my word's not creditable.